What if the key to colonizing Mars, or even exploring distant galaxies, lies in something as simple as the pull you feel beneath your feet right now? That's the promise of artificial gravity, a concept that could revolutionize how we live and work in space. For decades, astronauts have adapted to life in microgravity, but the long-term effects on the human body, like muscle atrophy and bone loss, have posed serious challenges. What if we could bring Earth's gravity to the stars? Imagine spacecraft that mimic the gravitational pull of our home planet, allowing humans to thrive in space just as they do here on Earth. This isn't just science fiction, it's a vision that scientists and engineers are actively working to make a reality. Today, we'll dive into the science behind artificial gravity, explore groundbreaking spacecraft designs, and uncover how this technology could shape the future of human life beyond our planet. Could artificial gravity be the missing piece in our quest to colonize Mars? Let's find out. The concept of artificial gravity may sound like something straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, but it's rooted in real, tangible physics. At its core, it relies on a principle you might remember from science class: centrifugal force. Picture a carnival ride where you're spun around in a circle. What keeps you pressed against the wall as the ride speeds up? That's centrifugal force in action. Now, imagine applying that same idea to a spacecraft. By rotating a section of the ship, we can create an outward pushing force that mimics the pull of gravity. It's not exactly the same as Earth's gravity, but it's close enough to provide the benefits we need for long-term space travel. But here's the catch: designing a spinning spacecraft isn't as simple as strapping on a giant centrifuge. The rotation speed and the size of the spacecraft have to be carefully balanced. Spin too fast, and astronauts might feel dizzy or nauseous. Imagine trying to work or eat while the room spins around you. Spin too slowly, and the artificial gravity created might not be strong enough to counteract the effects of microgravity. Researchers have been experimenting with this balance for decades, and one of the most fascinating examples comes from NASA's centrifuge studies. In these experiments, astronauts in microgravity were placed in a spinning module to test how their bodies responded to artificial gravity. The results were promising, but they also highlighted the complexity of getting the design just right. To make this more relatable, think of it like adjusting the speed on a blender. Too fast and you'll end up with a mess. Too slow and nothing gets mixed properly. Finding that perfect speed is key, and while the science is solid, the engineering challenges are immense. How do we build a spacecraft large enough to spin comfortably without making it too heavy or expensive to launch? How do we ensure the rotation doesn't interfere with other systems on board? These are the kinds of questions that keep engineers and scientists up at night as they work to turn this concept into a practical reality. But with every experiment and every new design, we get closer to cracking the code of artificial gravity and unlocking the door to a future where humans can live and thrive in space. The idea of artificial gravity didn't emerge overnight. It's a concept that has been brewing for over a century, fueled by both imagination and scientific curiosity. Long before engineers began designing rotating spacecraft, visionaries like Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, often called the father of astronautics, were already dreaming up ways to simulate gravity in space. In the early 20th century, Tsiolkovsky proposed the idea of rotating structures to create centrifugal force, laying the theoretical foundation for what would become one of the most ambitious challenges in space exploration. His work was groundbreaking, but it was just the beginning. Fast forward to the 1950s, and another giant in the field, Wernher von Braun, brought artificial gravity into the public eye. Von Braun, best known for his role in developing the Saturn V rocket, also envisioned massive, rotating space stations that would allow humans to live and work comfortably in orbit. His designs, though never fully realized, captured the imagination of millions and planted the idea that artificial gravity wasn't just possible, it was essential for humanity's future in space. The journey from theory to practice began in earnest during the Gemini program. In 1966, the Gemini 11 mission made history by testing a tethered spacecraft rotation system. Astronauts Pete Conrad and Richard Gordon connected their capsule to an Agena target vehicle using a tether and set both crafts spinning. The experiment was short-lived, but it provided valuable data, proving that artificial gravity was more than just a speculative concept. It was something we could actively explore and refine. These early milestones weren't just technical achievements, they were stepping stones toward a future where humans could thrive beyond Earth. Each experiment, each visionary idea, brought us closer to understanding how to recreate the gravitational pull we rely on every day. Today, we stand on the shoulders of these pioneers, armed with decades of research and a growing toolkit of technologies that make artificial gravity more achievable than ever. So, where are we now? The groundwork laid by Tsiolkovsky, von Braun, and the Gemini missions has paved the way for cutting-edge innovations that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. From advanced rotating habitats to next-generation spacecraft designs, the dream of artificial gravity is closer than ever to becoming a reality. And as we look ahead, it's clear that the next chapter in this story will be written not just by theorists and visionaries, but by engineers, scientists, and explorers who are turning science fiction into science fact. One of the most iconic approaches to artificial gravity is the centrifuge method, where a rotating section of the spacecraft creates the outward force needed to mimic gravity. This idea isn't just theoretical, it's been the backbone of some of the most ambitious space habitat designs ever conceived. Take the Stanford Torus, for example. Proposed in the 1970s, this massive, donut-shaped structure was designed to house up to 10,000 people, with its entire outer ring spinning to generate artificial gravity. Imagine living in a city-sized space station where the curve of the horizon bends upward and the pull beneath your feet feels just like home. The Stanford Torus wasn't just a dream, it was a detailed blueprint for how humans could thrive in space. Another visionary design is the O'Neill cylinder, named after physicist Gerard O'Neill. Picture two enormous cylinders, each several miles long, rotating in opposite directions to create stable artificial gravity along their inner surfaces. These habitats could support entire ecosystems, complete with farmland, lakes, and even weather systems. The scale is staggering, but so is the potential. These designs aren't just about survival, they're about creating a new way of life in space, where humanity can flourish long-term. Of course, building structures like these comes with its own set of challenges. Structural integrity is a major concern. How do you ensure something so massive can withstand the stresses of rotation without tearing itself apart? Energy requirements are another hurdle. Keeping these habitats spinning smoothly while powering everything from life support to communication systems demands innovative solutions. And let's not forget the sheer cost and complexity of launching such massive structures into space. These aren't small problems, but they're not insurmountable either. Today, we're seeing exciting progress in this area. SpaceX's Starship, for instance, is exploring modular designs that could incorporate rotating sections to create artificial gravity. While not as large as the Stanford Torus or O'Neill cylinder, Starship represents a practical step toward making artificial gravity a reality on a smaller scale. These modular systems could serve as the building blocks for larger habitats in the future, proving that the dream of spinning spacecraft isn't just for science fiction. But while the centrifuge approach is promising, it's not the only path to artificial gravity. Are there other methods that could achieve the same effect without requiring massive, spinning structures? As we continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, this question becomes more pressing, and the answers could redefine how we think about living beyond Earth. What if spinning spacecraft weren't the only way to recreate gravity in space? Enter linear acceleration, a fascinating alternative that could revolutionize how we simulate Earth's pull beyond our atmosphere. Instead of relying on rotation, this method uses constant thrust. Imagine a spacecraft continuously accelerating forward, creating a force that pushes everything inside toward the floor. It's a bit like being in a car that's speeding up. You feel pressed back into your seat. Now, scale that up to a spaceship, and you've got a way to mimic gravity without spinning a single component. The key to making this work lies in the engine. Nuclear-powered propulsion, for instance, could provide the sustained thrust needed to generate a steady gravitational effect. Unlike traditional chemical rockets, which burn through fuel quickly, nuclear engines offer the kind of efficiency and endurance required for long-term acceleration. This makes them a promising candidate for future missions where artificial gravity could be a game-changer. But as with any groundbreaking concept, there are trade-offs. Linear acceleration systems are incredibly energy-intensive. Maintaining constant thrust over long periods demands a lot of power, and the engineering challenges of building such engines are no small feat. On the flip side, they eliminate some of the headaches of rotational systems, like the potential for motion sickness or the need for massive, spinning structures. Plus, they could be more practical for smaller spacecraft, where space and weight are at a premium. Science fiction has long toyed with this idea, most notably in shows like The Expanse, where ships use constant acceleration to create gravity during transit. It's a compelling vision, but it also raises questions about scalability. Could we apply this concept to larger habitats or even space stations? Some theorists have proposed combining linear acceleration with other technologies, like the space elevator, a futuristic structure that could transport materials and people from Earth to orbit with minimal energy. Pairing these ideas could open up entirely new possibilities for how we live and travel in space. So, which method is better, rotation or acceleration? The answer might not be so black and white. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, and the best solution could involve blending the two. What if we designed spacecraft that use linear acceleration during transit and switch to rotation once they reach their destination? Combining these approaches could offer the best of both worlds, addressing the challenges of each method while maximizing their benefits. As we push the boundaries of space exploration, it's clear that artificial gravity isn't a one-size-fits-all problem. It's a puzzle with many pieces, each offering a unique way to bring the comforts of Earth to the stars. Whether through spinning habitats, thrust-driven acceleration, or a hybrid of both, the future of human life in space is shaping up to be as innovative as it is inspiring. And with every new idea, we're one step closer to making that future a reality. What if the future of artificial gravity doesn't hinge on choosing between rotation and acceleration, but instead combines the best of both worlds? Hybrid systems are emerging as a compelling solution, blending the centrifugal force of spinning habitats with the steady push of linear acceleration. This approach could offer unparalleled flexibility, adapting to everything from short-term lunar missions to the long, grueling journeys between planets. Take the Nautilus X concept, for example. This innovative design features a rotating habitat module paired with thrust-based propulsion, creating a versatile spacecraft capable of generating artificial gravity in multiple ways. During transit, the ship could use linear acceleration to simulate gravity, ensuring astronauts stay healthy and productive. Once it reaches its destination, the rotating section could take over, providing a stable, Earth-like environment for extended stays. It's a clever way to tackle the challenges of both methods while maximizing their benefits, but hybrid systems aren't just about convenience, they're about addressing the limitations of standalone approaches. For instance, rotational systems can cause discomfort or disorientation if the spin rate isn't perfectly calibrated, while linear acceleration demands a constant and immense energy supply. By combining the two, hybrid designs could mitigate these issues. A spacecraft could use linear acceleration during critical phases, like high-speed travel, and switch to rotation for more controlled, long-term gravity simulation. This adaptability makes hybrid systems particularly appealing for missions with varying needs, whether it's a quick trip to the Moon or a multi-year voyage to Mars. Of course, designing such systems is no simple task. Engineers must carefully balance the mechanics of rotation with the demands of propulsion, ensuring that both systems work seamlessly together. Structural integrity is another concern. How do you build a spacecraft that can handle the stresses of both spinning and accelerating without compromising safety? And then there's the question of comfort. How do we create an environment where astronauts can live and work effectively, free from the nausea or fatigue that might come with imperfect gravity simulation? These challenges are significant, but so are the potential rewards. Hybrid systems could open up new possibilities for space exploration, making long-term missions more feasible and sustainable. They could also pave the way for larger, more ambitious projects, like rotating space stations that double as interplanetary vehicles. As we continue to refine these designs, one thing is clear: the future of artificial gravity is about flexibility, innovation, and finding creative ways to bring the comforts of Earth to the stars. But even with the most advanced systems, there's a critical question we can't ignore. How do we ensure these hybrid solutions are not just effective, but also safe and comfortable for the astronauts who rely on them? The answer lies in rigorous testing, innovative engineering, and a deep understanding of how the human body adapts to life in space. And that's where the story gets even more fascinating. Living in space may sound like the ultimate adventure, but it comes with a hidden cost, the toll it takes on the human body. In microgravity, the absence of Earth's gravitational pull creates a cascade of health challenges for astronauts. Over time, muscles begin to waste away, bones lose density, and even vision can deteriorate. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're serious obstacles to long-term space exploration. Without gravity to anchor us, our bodies start to rebel, and the longer we stay in space, the more pronounced these effects become. Take astronaut Scott Kelly's year-long mission aboard the International Space Station as an example. During his 340 days in orbit, Kelly experienced significant changes to his body. His muscles weakened, his bones lost mass, and his eyesight changed so much that he needed glasses upon returning to Earth. These effects are a stark reminder of how much our bodies rely on gravity to function properly. Without it, even the most basic tasks, like standing or walking, become impossible, and the long-term consequences could jeopardize missions to Mars or beyond. This is where artificial gravity steps in as a potential game changer. By recreating the gravitational pull of Earth, we could counteract many of the health risks associated with prolonged space travel. Studies have shown that even brief exposure to simulated gravity can help maintain muscle mass and bone density. For instance, experiments using centrifuges have demonstrated that just a few hours a day of artificial gravity can significantly reduce the negative effects of microgravity. It's like giving astronauts a daily dose of Earth's gravity, helping them stay healthy and functional even in the depths of space. But the benefits don't stop at muscles and bones. Artificial gravity could also address one of the most puzzling issues astronauts face: vision problems. In microgravity, fluids in the body shift upward, increasing pressure on the brain and eyes. Over time, this can lead to a condition called spaceflight-associated neuroocular syndrome, or SANS, which can cause blurred vision and other visual impairments. Artificial gravity could help redistribute these fluids, reducing the risk of SANS and keeping astronauts' eyes healthy for the duration of their missions. The potential impact of artificial gravity on human health is immense. It's not just about making space travel more comfortable, it's about making it sustainable. With this technology, we could enable missions that last months or even years without sacrificing the well-being of the crew. Imagine astronauts arriving on Mars strong, healthy, and ready to explore, rather than weakened and debilitated by the journey. As we look to the future, the question isn't just whether we can create artificial gravity, it's how quickly we can make it a reality. The health of our astronauts depends on it, and the success of our missions hinges on their ability to thrive in the harsh environment of space. So, what's next in this quest to bring Earth's gravity to the stars? The answer lies in the groundbreaking technologies that could revolutionize space travel as we know it. As we set our sights on interplanetary travel, one thing becomes clear: the journey to Mars, or any distant world, isn't just about getting there. It's about arriving in a condition that allows us to explore, work, and thrive. This is where artificial gravity could be a game changer, transforming how we approach long-duration space missions. Picture a spacecraft where astronauts aren't just surviving the trip, but thriving, thanks to a gravitational environment that feels almost like home. One of the biggest challenges of interplanetary travel is the toll it takes on the human body. Without gravity, muscles atrophy, bones weaken, and even the cardiovascular system struggles to function properly. But with artificial gravity, we could mitigate these effects, ensuring astronauts arrive at their destination strong and healthy. Imagine a future where a trip to Mars doesn't leave astronauts debilitated, but ready to step onto the red planet with the energy and stamina needed to explore. But it's not just physical health that benefits. Mental well-being is just as crucial. Prolonged exposure to microgravity can disrupt sleep patterns, leaving astronauts fatigued and less productive. Artificial gravity could help regulate circadian rhythms, creating a more natural day-night cycle that promotes restful sleep. This isn't just about comfort, it's about maintaining peak performance during missions where focus and alertness are critical. Nutrition also plays a key role in long-term space travel. In microgravity, bodily fluids shift upward, dulling the sense of taste and smell, which can make food less appealing. Over time, this can lead to decreased appetite and even malnutrition. Artificial gravity could help restore normal fluid distribution, making meals more enjoyable and ensuring astronauts get the nutrients they need to stay healthy. The possibilities don't stop there. Imagine reusable spacecraft equipped with built-in gravity systems, designed for multiple trips between Earth and Mars. These vessels could serve as the backbone of interplanetary travel, offering a sustainable and cost-effective way to transport people and supplies. With artificial gravity, these reusable ships wouldn't just be functional, they'd be livable, providing a comfortable environment for both short trips and extended missions. Now, let's take a moment to envision this future. Picture a sleek, rotating spacecraft gliding through the void, its crew enjoying the familiar pull of gravity as they prepare for their arrival on Mars. Inside, astronauts move effortlessly, their bodies unaffected by the harsh realities of space. It's a vision that feels almost within reach, thanks to the advancements we're making in artificial gravity technology. But as we dream of traveling between planets, another question arises. What about living on other worlds? Could artificial gravity help us not just survive, but truly thrive as we colonize space? The answer might just redefine how we think about humanity's future among the stars. Imagine stepping into a space habitat where the pull beneath your feet feels just like Earth, yet you're orbiting hundreds of miles above the planet, or even standing on the moon. This is the promise of space habitats with artificial gravity, structures designed not just for survival, but for thriving in the cosmos. These habitats could serve as the foundation for humanity's long-term presence in space, offering everything from orbital research stations to lunar bases that feel as familiar as home. One of the most ambitious designs comes from the Gateway Foundation, which envisions the Von Braun Station, a rotating space hotel that could accommodate both tourists and long-term residents. Picture a massive, wheel-like structure spinning gracefully in orbit, its outer ring generating artificial gravity through centrifugal force. Inside, you'd find restaurants, gardens, and even recreational areas, all designed to make life in space feel as natural as possible. It's a vision that blends luxury with practicality, creating a space where people can live, work, and relax while enjoying the comforts of Earth like gravity. But building these habitats isn't just about creating a comfortable environment, it's about solving some of the most pressing challenges of space colonization. Take resource availability, for example. Constructing a habitat like the Von Braun station requires vast amounts of materials, from metals for the structure to life support systems that can sustain inhabitants for months or even years. Where do we get these resources? One solution lies in space itself. Asteroids, for instance, are rich in metals and water, which could be mined and used to build and maintain these habitats. This approach, known as in situ resource utilization, could drastically reduce the cost and complexity of constructing space habitats, making them more feasible in the long run. Another critical challenge is radiation shielding. Unlike Earth, which is protected by its magnetic field and atmosphere, space habitats are exposed to harmful cosmic rays and solar radiation. To keep inhabitants safe, these structures would need robust shielding, potentially using materials like water or regolith, the loose, rocky material found on the Moon. Some designs even propose using the habitat's rotation to create a magnetic field, offering an additional layer of protection. Maintaining these habitats also presents unique hurdles. Life support systems must be incredibly reliable, capable of recycling air, water, and waste with near-perfect efficiency. And then there's the question of energy. Solar power is a natural choice for orbital habitats, but lunar bases might require more innovative solutions, like nuclear reactors or even solar arrays placed in areas of perpetual sunlight. Despite these challenges, the potential of space habitats is immense. They could serve as stepping stones for deeper space exploration, providing a place to test technologies and train astronauts for missions to Mars and beyond. They could also become hubs for scientific research, enabling experiments that are impossible on Earth. And for those who dream of living among the stars, these habitats offer a glimpse of a future where space isn't just a frontier, it's a home. As we look ahead, it's clear that space habitats with artificial gravity could play a pivotal role in humanity's journey beyond Earth. But building these structures is only part of the story. What happens when we start living in them? How will artificial gravity shape the way we work, socialize, and build communities in space? The answers to these questions could redefine not just how we explore the cosmos, but how we live in it. The dream of artificial gravity isn't just a scientific challenge, it's an economic one. Developing systems that can recreate Earth's pull in space requires massive investments in research, development, and deployment. From designing rotating habitats to engineering thrust-based propulsion, the costs add up quickly. For example, building a single artificial gravity module for a spacecraft could cost hundreds of millions of dollars, not to mention the billions required for full-scale space habitats like the Von Braun station. These aren't just theoretical expenses, they're real-world hurdles that governments and private companies are grappling with as they push toward this futuristic goal. So, who's footing the bill? Governments like the United States, through agencies like NASA, have long been at the forefront of space exploration, funding foundational research into artificial gravity. But in recent years, private companies have stepped up in a big way. SpaceX, Blue Origin, and other space tech giants are pouring resources into technologies that can make artificial gravity a reality. These partnerships between public agencies and private firms are crucial, blending government expertise with private sector innovation to tackle the financial and logistical challenges of space development. But why invest so heavily in something as seemingly abstract as artificial gravity? The answer lies in the potential economic benefits. Space tourism, for instance, could become $1 trillion industry, and artificial gravity would make it far more accessible. Imagine luxury space hotels where guests can enjoy Earth-like comfort while gazing at the stars. Projects like the Von Braun station are already laying the groundwork for this future. Then there's asteroid mining. an industry that could unlock vast reserves of precious metals and rare minerals. Artificial gravity could make long-term mining operations in space feasible, providing the stability needed for both equipment and personnel. The economic ripple effects don't stop there. Advances in artificial gravity technology could also spur innovation in other fields, from materials science to energy efficiency. The research required to build these systems often leads to breakthroughs that benefit industries here on Earth. For example, the precision engineering needed to create stable rotating habitats could improve everything from wind turbines to medical devices. Yet, for all its promise, the economics of artificial gravity raise important questions. How do we ensure that the benefits of this technology are shared equitably? Will access to space habitats and their resources be limited to the wealthy? Or can we create a future where everyone has a stake in the cosmos? These are questions that governments, corporations, and society as a whole will need to address as we move forward. As we weigh the costs and benefits of artificial gravity, another layer of complexity emerges: the ethical considerations. What responsibilities do we have as we bring gravity to space, and how do we balance progress with the need to protect both people and the environments we explore? The answers to these questions could shape not just the future of space travel, but the future of humanity itself. As we marvel at the possibilities of artificial gravity, it's worth pausing to ask, who gets to enjoy these advancements and at what cost? The ethical and social implications of this technology are as vast as the cosmos itself. While artificial gravity could revolutionize space exploration, it also raises pressing questions about accessibility and equity. Will this technology become a privilege for the few or a stepping stone for all of humanity to reach the stars? Consider the global landscape of space exploration today. Wealthy nations and private corporations are leading the charge, investing billions in cutting-edge technologies. Meanwhile, many countries lack the resources to even dream of launching their own missions. Artificial gravity could widen this gap, creating a new divide between spacefaring nations and those left behind. If only a handful of entities can afford to build and maintain gravity-enabled spacecraft or habitats, what does that mean for the rest of the world? This isn't just about fairness, it's about the kind of future we want to build. Space colonization has the potential to exacerbate existing inequalities, both on Earth and beyond. Imagine a scenario where only the wealthiest individuals or nations can establish colonies on the Moon or Mars, while others remain grounded. Such a future risks repeating the same patterns of exploitation and exclusion that have plagued human history. But it's not all doom and gloom. Artificial gravity also presents an opportunity to rethink how we approach space exploration. What if we framed it as a collective endeavor, one that prioritizes collaboration over competition? International partnerships like the International Space Station have shown that space can be a unifying force. By fostering inclusive initiatives, we could ensure that the benefits of artificial gravity and space exploration as a whole are shared more equitably. Then there's the question of responsibility. As we push the boundaries of what's possible, how do we ensure that our actions in space reflect the best of humanity? Creating artificial gravity isn't just a technical challenge, it's a moral one. We have a responsibility to consider the long-term consequences of our decisions, from the environmental impact of space habitats to the social dynamics of off-world communities. These ethical dilemmas aren't easy to solve, but they're essential to address as we venture further into the cosmos. After all, the goal of space exploration isn't just to explore, it's to create a future where humanity can thrive, both on Earth and among the stars. Now, let's dive into the technological innovations driving this field forward. What groundbreaking advancements are making artificial gravity a reality, and how could they shape the next chapter of space exploration? The answers might just surprise you. When we think about artificial gravity, it's easy to focus on the big picture ideas: rotating habitats, thrust-based propulsion, and hybrid systems. But behind these grand visions lies a world of cutting-edge technologies that make them possible. From revolutionary materials to AI-driven designs, the tools we're developing today are laying the groundwork for a future where gravity in space feels as natural as it does on Earth. One of the most critical areas of innovation is materials science. Building structures that can spin or accelerate without breaking apart requires materials that are both incredibly strong and astonishingly lightweight. Enter advanced alloys and composites like carbon fiber, reinforced polymers, and graphene-based materials. These aren't just strong, they're flexible, resistant to extreme temperatures, and capable of withstanding the stresses of rotation or prolonged acceleration. Imagine a spacecraft hull that's lighter than aluminum but stronger than steel, enabling us to build larger, more efficient habitats without sacrificing safety. Propulsion systems are another game changer. Traditional chemical rockets, while powerful, aren't sustainable for long-term missions requiring artificial gravity. Instead, researchers are exploring alternatives like ion drives and nuclear thermal propulsion. These systems offer the kind of steady, efficient thrust needed for linear acceleration, making them ideal for creating gravity through constant motion. For example, NASA Kilopower project is developing compact nuclear reactors that could provide the energy needed for these advanced propulsion systems, paving the way for more ambitious missions. Robotics and AI are also playing a pivotal role. Designing and maintaining artificial gravity systems is a complex task, requiring precise control over everything from rotation speeds to structural integrity. AI-driven algorithms can optimize these systems in real time, adjusting variables like spin rate or thrust to ensure stability and comfort. Robotics, meanwhile, are being used to assemble and repair these structures in space, reducing the need for risky human intervention. Projects like the European Space Agency's Artificial Gravity Bed Rest Study are already leveraging these technologies to test how humans respond to different gravity simulations, using robotic systems to monitor and adjust conditions with pinpoint accuracy. These advancements aren't happening in isolation, they're part of a larger push to make space exploration safer, more efficient, and more accessible. Take the concept of 3D printing in space, for instance. By using lightweight materials and additive manufacturing techniques, we could build entire rotating habitats in orbit, eliminating the need to launch massive structures from Earth. This approach not only reduces costs, but also opens up new possibilities for customization and scalability. But as impressive as these technologies are, they're not without their challenges. Lightweight materials, while strong, must also be durable enough to withstand the harsh conditions of space. Propulsion systems need to be not just powerful, but reliable over long periods. And AI-driven designs, while promising, require vast amounts of data and testing to ensure they can handle the unpredictability of space travel. So, what's next in this race to perfect artificial gravity? The answer lies in collaboration between scientists, engineers, and innovators across the globe, and in the relentless pursuit of solutions to the challenges that remain. As we push the boundaries of what's possible, one thing is clear: the technologies enabling artificial gravity aren't just shaping the future of space exploration, they're redefining it. But even with all these breakthroughs, there's still one question that looms large. How do we ensure these systems are not just technologically feasible, but also safe and sustainable for the humans who will rely on them? The answer could determine whether artificial gravity becomes a cornerstone of our spacefaring future, or remains a tantalizing dream just out of reach. Creating artificial gravity is no small feat. It's a challenge that pushes the boundaries of engineering, physics, and human endurance. While the concept is straightforward in theory, turning it into a practical reality comes with a host of technical and logistical hurdles. One of the biggest obstacles is energy consumption. Whether we're spinning a spacecraft or maintaining constant thrust, the energy required to simulate gravity is immense. Traditional propulsion systems simply can't sustain the kind of power needed for long-term artificial gravity, which is why researchers are exploring alternatives like nuclear reactors and solar sails. Even with these advanced systems, the energy demands remain staggering, forcing us to rethink how we generate and store power in space. Structural stability is another major concern. Building a rotating habitat or a spacecraft that can withstand the stresses of constant acceleration requires materials and designs that are both incredibly strong and lightweight. The forces involved can put immense strain on the structure, risking everything from minor malfunctions to catastrophic failures. For example, a rotating habitat must balance the outward pull of centrifugal force with the need to maintain structural integrity. Any imbalance could lead to vibrations, instability, or even collapse issues that could endanger the crew and jeopardize the mission. But the challenges don't stop at the hardware. Human adaptation is a critical factor that often gets overlooked. While artificial gravity can counteract the physical effects of microgravity, it introduces its own set of physiological and psychological challenges. For instance, rotating habitats can cause motion sickness or disorientation, especially if the spin rate isn't perfectly calibrated. Imagine trying to eat, sleep, or work while the room spins around you. It's a recipe for discomfort at best and severe nausea at worst. Even small changes in rotation, speed, or direction can disrupt the inner ear, leading to dizziness or vertigo. Then there's the psychological impact of living in an artificial gravity environment. Humans are wired to expect certain sensory cues from gravity, like balance and spatial orientation. When those cues are altered or absent, it can lead to confusion, stress, and even anxiety. Prolonged exposure to rotating habitats might also affect cognitive function, making it harder to concentrate or perform complex tasks. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're serious concerns that could impact the success of long-term missions. To address these challenges, rigorous testing is essential. Before we send humans into space with artificial gravity systems, we need to thoroughly study how these environments affect the body and mind. Ground-based simulations, like centrifuges and rotating rooms, can help us understand the limits of human adaptation and refine the design of future habitats. Safety protocols must also be established to mitigate risks, from emergency shutdown procedures to fail-safes that ensure structural stability. Despite these hurdles, the potential of artificial gravity is too great to ignore. It could revolutionize how we explore space, making long-term missions safer, more comfortable, and more sustainable. But to get there, we'll need to tackle these challenges head-on, combining cutting-edge technology with a deep understanding of human physiology and psychology. Now, let's look at how artificial gravity could shape the future of space exploration. From interplanetary travel to lunar colonies, this technology has the potential to redefine what's possible, ushering in a new era of human life among the stars. Picture this, a future where artificial gravity isn't just a concept in science labs or sci-fi movies, but a standard feature of every spacecraft and habitat beyond Earth. A future where astronauts and space tourists alike step onto a lunar base or a Mars colony and feel the same familiar pull beneath their feet as they do on Earth. This isn't just about comfort, it's about unlocking possibilities that were once the stuff of dreams. Missions to distant stars like Alpha Centauri could become feasible, with crews arriving healthy and ready to explore new worlds. Artificial gravity could be the linchpin that makes interstellar travel not just possible, but sustainable. Imagine a spacecraft accelerating through the void, its thrusters creating a steady gravitational force that keeps the crew strong and alert. On board, scientists conduct experiments in conditions that mimic Earth's environment, while tourists gaze out at the stars from rotating observation decks. This isn't just a vision for the next decade, it's a roadmap for the next century. Artificial gravity could transform space travel from a grueling endurance test into a comfortable journey, opening the door to destinations we've only dreamed of reaching. But the impact of artificial gravity doesn't stop at exploration. Think about the industries it could revolutionize. Space tourism, for instance, could explode into a mainstream market. Imagine luxury hotels orbiting Earth, where guests can enjoy Earth-like gravity while floating above the planet. These habitats wouldn't just be for vacations, they could become hubs for research, manufacturing, and even entertainment. In microgravity, we've already seen how materials can be produced with unique properties, from ultra-pure crystals to advanced alloys. With artificial gravity, we could refine these processes, creating a new era of space-based manufacturing that benefits industries back on Earth. The ripple effects of this technology could extend far beyond our solar system. Interstellar colonization, once a distant dream, could become a tangible goal. Artificial gravity would allow humans to live and work in deep space for years, even decades, without the debilitating effects of microgravity. Colonies on distant planets or moons could thrive, supported by habitats that replicate Earth's environment. These communities wouldn't just survive, they'd flourish, growing food, building infrastructure, and expanding humanity's reach into the cosmos. Yet, as we look to this future, a bigger question emerges. What does this mean for the future of humanity? Artificial gravity isn't just a technological milestone, it's a cultural and philosophical one. It challenges us to rethink our place in the universe and our responsibility as explorers. Will we use this technology to unite and uplift, or will it deepen existing divides? The answers to these questions will shape not just the future of space exploration, but the future of our species. As we stand on the brink of this new era, one thing is clear: artificial gravity isn't just about recreating the pull of Earth. It's about redefining what it means to live, work, and dream beyond our planet. And in doing so, it invites us to imagine a future where the stars aren't just a destination, they're a home. As we look ahead to a future where artificial gravity becomes a cornerstone of life in space, it's worth considering how this technology could reshape not just our physical reality, but our very sense of identity and belonging. Living in a gravity-enhanced environment could fundamentally alter how we experience the cosmos, blending the familiar comforts of Earth with the boundless possibilities of space. Picture a lunar habitat where artists paint under Earth like gravity, their brushes moving effortlessly across canvases, or a Mars colony where families gather in rotating parks, children playing under a dome that mimics the open sky. These aren't just scenes from a futuristic novel, they're glimpses of a world where artificial gravity transforms how we live, work, and connect. The cultural impact of this shift could be profound. Space habitats designed with artificial gravity might become hubs for creativity and innovation, fostering new forms of art, music, and storytelling inspired by the unique experience of living among the stars. Imagine sculptures that play with the interplay between gravity and weightlessness, or films that explore the emotional and psychological dimensions of life in a gravity-enhanced world. These habitats could also serve as melting pots of culture, bringing together people from across the globe to create a truly multi-planetary society. But it's not just about art and culture. Artificial gravity could also redefine how we build communities in space. With the pull of gravity anchoring us, space habitats could feel more like home, fostering a sense of stability and connection that's often missing in microgravity environments. Social spaces like cafes, theaters, and sports arenas could thrive, offering opportunities for recreation and bonding that strengthen the fabric of these new communities. Think of soccer games played in rotating habitats, where the curve of the field creates a unique challenge, or concerts where the acoustics of a gravity-enhanced environment add depth and richness to the music. Yet, as we embrace this gravity-enhanced future, it's worth asking, what does it mean to belong in a world where Earth is just one of many homes? How will our sense of identity evolve as we become a multi-planetary species? These questions aren't just philosophical, they're deeply personal. touching on themes of connection, heritage, and purpose. Artificial gravity might make life in space more comfortable, but it also challenges us to rethink what it means to be human in an ever-expanding universe. Now, let's explore how this groundbreaking technology could also help us tackle some of Earth's most pressing challenges. From improving healthcare to advancing sustainable energy, artificial gravity might hold the key to solutions that benefit not just space explorers, but everyone on our home planet. While artificial gravity is often associated with the stars, its impact could be felt much closer to home, right here on Earth. The technologies developed to recreate gravity in space have the potential to spark breakthroughs that transform our daily lives, from healthcare to transportation and even energy production. Take medicine, for example. Research into how artificial gravity affects the human body could lead to new therapies for conditions like osteoporosis or muscle atrophy. By studying how astronauts adapt to simulated gravity, we might uncover treatments that help patients recover from injuries or combat age-related physical decline. It's a reminder that space research doesn't just take us outward, it also brings benefits back to Earth. Transportation is another area ripe for innovation. The propulsion systems designed to create artificial gravity through constant acceleration could revolutionize how we travel on our planet. Imagine high-speed trains or even personal vehicles powered by the same efficient, low-emission engines being developed for space travel. These systems could reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, offering cleaner, faster, and more sustainable ways to get around. And it's not just about speed. Artificial gravity research could lead to smoother, more comfortable rides, whether you're commuting to work or crossing continents. Energy production could also see a boost from this technology. The advanced power systems required to sustain artificial gravity, like nuclear reactors or solar arrays, could be adapted for use on Earth, providing clean, reliable energy to communities worldwide. For instance, the compact nuclear reactors being tested for space habitats could offer a scalable solution for remote areas or disaster zones, where traditional power grids are impractical. And the lightweight, durable materials developed for rotating spacecraft could improve the efficiency of wind turbines or solar panels, making renewable energy more accessible and affordable. History shows us that space research often leads to unexpected innovations. Think of GPS, which grew out of satellite technology, or memory foam, originally developed for spacecraft seats. Artificial gravity could follow a similar path, inspiring solutions to problems we haven't even thought of yet. Perhaps the same systems that stabilize rotating habitats could be used to design earthquake-resistant buildings, or the algorithms that control spin rates in spacecraft could optimize wind farms or tidal energy systems. The possibilities are as vast as the universe itself, but perhaps the most exciting aspect of artificial gravity research is its potential to inspire a more sustainable future. The challenges of living in space, finite resources, the need for efficiency, and the importance of recycling mirror the challenges we face on Earth. By solving these problems for space habitats, we might find ways to live more sustainably here at home. Imagine cities powered by closed-loop energy systems, or communities that thrive on zero-waste principles, all inspired by the innovations of artificial gravity. So, how close are we to making this future a reality? The truth is, we're closer than you might think. With every experiment, every new design, and every breakthrough, we're inching toward a world where the benefits of artificial gravity extend far beyond the stars. And as we push the boundaries of what's possible, one thing is clear. The technology that takes us to space could also help us build a better future right here on Earth. Right now, the race to bring artificial gravity to life isn't just a theoretical exercise. It's a bustling field of active research and innovation. Across the globe, space agencies, universities, and private companies are collaborating on groundbreaking projects that could make this futuristic vision a reality. One of the most exciting hubs for this work is the International Space Station, where astronauts are conducting experiments that could pave the way for gravity-enhanced space habitats. For instance, the ISS has hosted studies on how the human body responds to different levels of simulated gravity, providing critical data on everything from muscle recovery to cardiovascular health. These experiments aren't just about understanding the science, they're about solving real-world challenges that astronauts will face on long-duration missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. But the ISS is just the tip of the iceberg. NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the Moon by the mid-2020s, is also exploring how artificial gravity could support lunar habitats. Imagine a rotating module on the Moon's surface, where astronauts could live and work in a gravity-enhanced environment, free from the debilitating effects of microgravity. This isn't just a dream, it's a tangible goal that's being actively pursued. NAS, a centrifuge accommodations module, for example, is a prototype designed to test how rotating habitats could function in space, offering a glimpse of what life might look like on future lunar or Martian bases. Meanwhile, private companies are stepping up in a big way. SpaceX, for instance, has hinted at incorporating artificial gravity systems into its Starship spacecraft, potentially using rotational modules to create a more comfortable journey for Mars-bound astronauts. Blue Origin, too, is exploring concepts like the Orbital Reef, a commercial space station that could include rotating sections to simulate gravity. These projects aren't just about pushing the boundaries of technology, they're about creating a sustainable future for human life in space, where artificial gravity plays a central role. Universities are also playing a crucial role in advancing this field. Researchers at institutions like MIT and Stanford are developing innovative designs for rotating habitats, using cutting-edge materials and AI-driven simulations to optimize everything from structural stability to energy efficiency. These academic efforts often bridge the gap between theory and practice, turning bold ideas into practical solutions that space agencies and private companies can implement. What ties all these efforts together is collaboration. Space agencies like NASA and ESA are working hand in hand with private companies and academic institutions to share knowledge, resources, and expertise. This collective approach isn't just accelerating progress, it's ensuring that the solutions we develop are robust, reliable, and ready for the challenges of long-term space exploration. Now, let's hear from the experts shaping this field. Their insights could hold the key to unlocking the full potential of artificial gravity and transforming how we live and work in space. What does it take to turn the dream of artificial gravity into reality? To answer that, we turn to the pioneers who are leading the charge, scientists, engineers, and astronauts, whose work is shaping the future of space exploration. Dr. Emily Carter, a materials scientist at NASA, puts it this way: artificial gravity isn't just about spinning a spacecraft, it's about creating a sustainable environment where humans can thrive. Every material we develop, every design we test, brings us one step closer to that goal. Her work on lightweight, durable composites is paving the way for rotating habitats that can withstand the rigors of space, ensuring that future astronauts have a safe and stable place to call home. Then there's Dr. Raj Patel, an aerospace engineer whose team is designing propulsion systems for gravity-enabled spacecraft. The challenge isn't just generating thrust, he explains. It's about doing it efficiently and sustainably. We're looking at everything from nuclear propulsion to solar sails, trying to find the best way to create gravity through acceleration. His passion for innovation is matched only by his optimism. I truly believe that within our lifetime, we'll see spacecraft with artificial gravity become a reality. It's not a question of if, but when. Astronauts, too, are at the forefront of this effort. Take Commander Lisa Nguyen, who spent over a year aboard the International Space Station. Living in microgravity changes you, she reflects. You feel it in your muscles, your bones, even your mind. That's why artificial gravity is so important. It's not just about comfort. It's about preserving the health and well-being of the people who are pushing the boundaries of exploration. Nguyen's first-hand experience has made her a vocal advocate for gravity-enhanced habitats, and she's working closely with researchers to test new systems that can make long-term space travel safer and more sustainable. These pioneers aren't just solving technical challenges, they're inspiring the next generation of explorers. Dr. Carter often speaks to students about her work, encouraging them to pursue careers in science and engineering. I tell them, you're not just building a spacecraft, you're building a future where humanity can live and thrive among the stars. Similarly, Commander Nguyen mentors young astronauts, sharing her experiences and lessons learned. The best part of my job, she says, is knowing that the work we're doing today will open doors for the explorers of tomorrow. But what can we, as individuals, do to support this vision? While we may not all be engineers or astronauts, each of us has a role to play in advancing the dream of artificial gravity. Whether it's advocating for space exploration, supporting STEM education, or simply sharing the stories of these pioneers, we can all contribute to a future where gravity in space is as natural as it is on Earth. As we look to the horizon, one thing is clear: the journey to artificial gravity is a collective effort, driven by the passion and ingenuity of countless individuals. And with every breakthrough, we're not just reaching for the stars, we're building a future where humanity can truly belong among them. Now, let's explore how this groundbreaking technology could also help us tackle some of Earth's most pressing challenges, and why that matters for all of us. The journey to artificial gravity isn't just a scientific endeavor, it's a human one. For this groundbreaking technology to truly take flight, it needs more than just brilliant minds and cutting-edge research. It needs you. Public engagement and awareness play a crucial role in driving progress, shaping policies, and inspiring the next generation of innovators. After all, the dream of living and thriving in space isn't just for astronauts and engineers, it's a vision that belongs to all of us. So, how can you get involved? One of the most impactful ways is by advocating for space exploration funding. Whether it's contacting your local representatives, signing petitions, or simply spreading the word, your voice can help ensure that artificial gravity research receives the support it needs. Organizations like the Planetary Society and the National Space Society are great places to start, offering resources and campaigns to amplify public support for space initiatives. Another way to make a difference is by encouraging young people to explore careers in STEM science, technology, engineering, and math. Programs like NAS, a STEM engagement office, or private initiatives like SpaceX's educational outreach provide opportunities for students to dive into the world of space exploration. By mentoring, volunteering, or even just sharing your passion for space, you can help spark the curiosity that drives future breakthroughs. But you don't need to be a scientist or engineer to contribute. Citizen science projects like Zooniverse's Galaxy Zoo or NAS, a globe observer, allow everyday people to participate in real research. These initiatives not only advance our understanding of the universe, but also foster a sense of connection and collaboration. Imagine helping analyze data that could one day inform the design of a rotating habitat. It's a chance to be part of something bigger than yourself. Of course, one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to engage is by joining the conversation. Share your thoughts, ideas, and questions in the comments below. What excites you most about artificial gravity? What challenges do you think we need to tackle first? Your input could inspire new perspectives or even spark ideas that push this field forward. Public engagement isn't just about supporting artificial gravity, it's about shaping the future of space exploration. By working together, we can create a world where the stars aren't just a distant dream, but a shared destination. Now, let's wrap up with a look at the bigger picture. What does artificial gravity mean for humanity's place in the universe? And how can we ensure that this technology benefits everyone, not just a select few? The answers might just redefine how we think about our future among the stars. as we stand on the brink of a new era in space exploration. Artificial gravity offers more than just a technological breakthrough. It invites us to rethink humanity's place in the cosmos. This isn't just about building spinning habitats or designing faster spacecraft. It's about grappling with profound questions. What does it mean to be a spacefaring species? How do we define home when Earth is no longer our only dwelling place? Artificial gravity isn't just a tool for survival. It's a symbol of our audacity to reach beyond the familiar and embrace the unknown. Think about it. For millennia, humanity has gazed at the stars and wondered what lies beyond. Artificial gravity could be the key that unlocks those distant worlds, not just for a select few astronauts, but for all of us. It challenges us to expand our understanding of life itself. Could we one day thrive on Mars, Europa, or even in the depths of interstellar space? And if so, what would that mean for our identity as a species? These aren't just scientific questions, they're deeply philosophical, touching on themes of purpose, connection, and the very nature of existence. This technology also has the power to unite us in ways we've never seen before. Space exploration has always been a collaborative endeavor, from the International Space Station to the Artemis Accords. Artificial gravity could take that collaboration to new heights, fostering partnerships between nations, industries, and individuals. Imagine a future where we work together, not just to explore the stars, but to build communities among them. It's a vision that transcends borders and reminds us of our shared humanity. But with this potential comes responsibility. As we venture further into the cosmos, we must ask ourselves, how do we ensure that the benefits of artificial gravity and space exploration as a whole are accessible to all? Will we use this technology to uplift and inspire, or will it become a privilege for the few? These are questions we must grapple with as we shape the future of space travel. Artificial gravity isn't just about recreating Earth's pull, it's about redefining what it means to live, to explore, and to dream. It challenges us to look beyond our planet and see ourselves as part of something larger, a species with the potential to thrive not just on Earth, but across the universe. Finally, let's revisit the key takeaways from our journey, what we've learned, what's still to come, and why this technology could be the most transformative step humanity has ever taken toward the stars. As we come to the end of this journey through the science, history, and future of artificial gravity, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. From the physics of centrifugal force to the visionary designs of rotating habitats like the Stanford Torus and O'Neill cylinder, we've seen how this technology could revolutionize life in space. We've explored the challenges, energy demands, structural stability, and human adaptation, and the breakthroughs that are bringing us closer to overcoming them. And we've looked ahead to a future where artificial gravity could enable everything from lunar bases to interstellar colonies, reshaping how we live, work, and dream beyond Earth. But this isn't just a story about technology, it's a story about humanity. Artificial gravity represents our ability to adapt, innovate, and push the boundaries of what's possible. It's a testament to the power of collaboration, from the early visions of pioneers like Konstantin Tsiolkovsky and Wernher von Braun to the cutting-edge research happening today in labs, universities, and space stations around the world. This isn't just about one breakthrough or one mission, it's about the collective effort to create a future where humanity can thrive among the stars. As we look ahead, one thing is clear: the future of space exploration depends on innovation. Whether it's developing new materials, designing efficient propulsion systems, or finding ways to make artificial gravity safe and comfortable, progress demands creativity, perseverance, and a willingness to take risks. But it also requires collaboration. From NASA and ESA to private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, the journey to artificial gravity is a team effort, one that brings together the brightest minds from across the globe. So, what does this mean for you? Whether you're a space enthusiast, a casual viewer, or someone just discovering this topic for the first time, this is a story that invites you to dream big. Imagine a future where the pull of gravity isn't confined to Earth, where humanity builds homes on distant worlds, explores the far reaches of the galaxy, and writes a new chapter in the story of our species. That future isn't just possible, it's within our reach. As we close, let's leave you with a thought from the visionary scientist Carl Sagan. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. Artificial gravity is one of those incredible things, a technology that could redefine our place in the universe and unlock possibilities we've only begun to imagine. If this vision excites you, help us spread the word. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others who might be inspired by the promise of artificial gravity. Together, we can build a future where the stars aren't just a distant dream, but a shared destination. Before we go, we'll leave you with one final question. Are you ready to embrace a future where gravity knows no bounds? The answer could shape not just the future of space exploration, but the future